we need to work towards it. I think the numbers are an outcome. I don't think all of us should get carried away by the numbers. They are very staggering, both on a top line as well as a profitability point of view. I think anyone in the world is proud of every one of us. The market cap is about 70 billion, but these are all transient phenomena. I don't think we get carried away by the numbers other than saying that we are doing well. The money that we generate is what is more important with regard to where you are going to deploy it. I think where we deploy it is with regard to the future, and we believe in the future and we continue to invest, whether it's in people, whether it's in process, whether it's in technology, whether it's in markets. But the single-minded focus is who is that customer we are serving, and what is it that as a value differentiator we are offering to that customer. If these two questions are not answered, you got to go back to the drawing board to keep working on it all the time till you get that value proposition in the eyes of the customer sorted out. That's when they transact, that's when they stick with you. Second point we have learned over the years, and I think you'll also agree, never take a customer for granted. Only as good as the last opportunity, and if you have fumbled on the last opportunity because somebody else did a better job, you will lose that customer irrespective of how many years of work you have done for them. And we have enough examples, but we learn very quickly from those examples. So that stickiness with an existing customer and doing the repeat business is something which we practice, something we live by, something we keep thinking day in and day out. These are some lessons in building the business to that kind of a level. That's where the people, integration, culture, training, all of that come into force.
I'm just putting, rough numbers of what I had seen before I left TCS. Now those are also equally staggering.
Yes.
So it was a company with, let's say if you look at 70s or 80s, probably if you did the calculation about 10 million, 50, 30, 40 crores,
Yeah.
500 people. But interestingly, the batch that I was in, Ram, you could hardly find anybody outside IITs there, maybe a couple of people.
Yes.
So what was it that made the company different? Because there were a lot of companies that were there. There were at least about 6 to 7 companies in the IT sector at that particular point in time of the same size.
I think 3 or 4 things. One is recruit the people ahead of the need. So if you find a very good person, set up people. You have no hesitation in hiring him or her. Second is collaborate and communicate what you are trying to do, togetherness, very, very effectively, which we did very, very well, and we took this mentorship, mentor-mentee relationships were very sacrosanct for us, a place to build a very good culture within the organization. Third is investing in technology for the future. When we got the first machine in 1974, the Burroughs machine, 76, the larger machine, then the 80s, the IBM, then the digital equipment, tandem computers, HP, then the servers. With every technology change, we were ahead of the curve to invest in that. It was the second lesson we continue to do that very, very effectively. And the importance of research and innovation within the organization. So the enablers which we thought were very necessary and the people around that and collaborating with people within the system or outside the system as we went along are some things which still are very much intact, but we continue to do that. Those were some things.
One of the things, Ram, I recall and I think was that there was no handicap in thinking. We looked at a problem, we came up with a solution, and we solved the problem for the customer. And we continue to do that, and from there, a whole lot of inner capabilities came out among the people. And I just want to give you one example. If you recall, we closed that Continental Insurance,
Right.
and I, the MTech, was the business guy, and Ravi from IIM Bangalore was the project manager. So we put whole thing upside down. There were no religions as such. The management or everybody did whatever was necessary.
That is very correct, because when I went as head of marketing in the US to set up our operations in 79, I had no marketing experience or a sales experience. I was a technical guy doing hardware installation and maintenance before, then programming, and installation and support of computers for some of our big customers, either government or the private sector or for our own in-house. But then the opportunity to go and look at creating a position and a job which is completely different changed our whole way of looking at the market, because then you get that passion, fire in the belly to say that I have to make it happen. I can't let anybody down. First of all myself, and then the organization and the set of people who are dependent on you or who are looking up to you. I think those were some things which the mobility of the people across different projects, different programs, across the various functions is a way of life, and that is practiced very, very well. And that helps you a lot to understand the entire business and to perform very well.
Couple of other things I want you to comment on. We never knew what are the bench strengths which people talk about, but we had a good bench strength. I don't think we, at least where I was, I didn't have to worry about any budget. Whenever I asked for, I used to do my preparation, and whenever I asked for money, it was there. But we never did any budgeting as such across the organization. People did what was necessary. How was that accomplished?
Well, I think when you are building an institution, like I said, we hire people if they are good, and then we'll worry about what is the function or what is the responsibility we want to give. Today we talk about different things where we say what is the utilization.
Correct.
So if with the trainees and without the trainees we publish the utilization figures. So if 77-78% is utilization without the trainees, with the trainees we are about 79-80%. And we build the remaining for functions which are non-billable but intellectual asset creation, training, preparation for the future. So you have to build models where utilization is one component, but utilization for long-term investment is a must, and that must be done. That's how we look at this.
And I think industry learned it over a period of time, how to put that, especially for publicly listed companies.
Yes.
So how was it? I want to have 2-3 thoughts here.
See, there's something in the picture. I'm very serious and Mr. Kohli is smiling. This is the opposite of normally what happens.
So how was it working with him in the initial stages later, and when you transitioned? Or he transitioned to you?
Yeah, in the initial stages, really observing and learning from a person who you think is somewhere up there. So your respect for that individual and your ability to communicate with him and then learn from him is the most difficult part of your responsibility. People are different, how they behave, how they communicate, how they conduct, how they respond, how they are intolerant, all of these come out. But I think you got to get away from that but learn and make your time and effort to make sure you can learn as much as possible. And learning comes by listening and doing, and then demonstrating and then correcting as we go along. I think once the trust builds up, the second phase is, like I said, when I went to the US in 79. It was purely based on trust. And I did ask Mr. Kohli that question, why did you select me or other fellows with various marketing, sales background? But he said, you are the only person I could trust, or you are one of the few persons I could trust. I didn't ask him when he selected me for the job, but after a couple of years, because it kept bothering me again and again. And then once you are close to the retirement, or as we went along, as we progressed, as we performed, I think the relationship one was very, very close association, friendship, families, children, grandchildren, etc., etc. Now it's a relationship where we meet with each other, we consult each other, we